Zilliqa is definitely going to outperform Visa and Mastercard in the long run. So if you are watching this video right now, we are going to be breaking down all the reasons why Visa and Mastercard can never be comparable to Zilliqa. Of course, we're just going to break down everything and you guys are going to have all the juicy details. Zilliqa never ceases to amaze me. It is 5% up. We are trading around 281 Satoshis and we're almost hitting 3 cents. The market cap is still at 274 million US dollars. The volume is very good, 221 million US dollars. Oh man. Here's a quick reminder. You need to take a little bit of profits off of the table. I know you guys have been doing very well. I know that you have been enjoying seeing all those lovely gains on your portfolio, but you always have to go back to the basics. In order for you to make money, right, you have to take profit. So right now, please do take a little bit of money off of the table because you might never know when this thing might end up correcting. Let's get back to today's topic, and you guys have to understand that Visa does not do 24,000 transactions per second. This is obviously a myth that has been blown out of proportion, and a lot of people really think that Visa does this number of transactions per second, but the factual transactions per second with regards to Visa is obviously 1,700 TPS. That's the actual throughput of Visa. So if you take a look at the Visa transactions per second, right, in comparison to Zilliqa does do 2,800 transactions per second. If you compare these two figures, right, obviously, clearly, Zilliqa is way better. I know for a fact that a lot of you are going to be pointing out to a whole lot of different blockchains saying, this particular cryptocurrency, or rather this particular blockchain performs 100,000 transactions per second. Calm down, because obviously those are lab results. And for a lot of blockchains, platforms to be sort of performing that very well, especially having very, very exaggerated transactions per second, way over 24,000 or even 50,000 transactions per second, right? Just get to understand that they have things which are lacking, because obviously the whole point of having blockchain technology is obviously decentralization, immutability, plus a whole lot of security. So a lot of these blockchain platforms that are promising 30,000 transactions per second, right, they are obviously way much more central. And if you have a blockchain which is pretty much centralized, right, what's the purpose of having a blockchain which can be censored? Because obviously with centralization comes censorship. Now if you take a look at the transactions per second of Zilliqa, right, 2,800 is pretty decent, and it is achievable because Zilliqa uses sharding technology. The other point that you guys might be saying, okay, Zilliqa can't really outperform Visa or Mastercard because Visa has got a lot of merchants worldwide, and they have like quite a lot of people who trust them. That is indeed factual, but you always remember that Visa once upon a time started from somewhere, and Zilliqa has got the capabilities, the technology to outperform it. So we are going to be breaking down everything because Zilliqa is definitely going to be overtaking, or rather ruling, Asia's DeFi, if I can put it that way. Let's take a look at the key features that are going to be making Zilliqa overtake Visa and Mastercard. So everything lies in the technology aspects of Zilliqa, right? Because Zilliqa performs network sharding, which is also referred to as partition sharding. So basically, this is a combination of directory service committee plus pure Byzantine fault tolerance. So with these two capabilities combined together, right, we are able to attain infinite scaling. So whenever we have infinite scaling, right, the better things are going to be working. And if that happens, there's obviously going to be a whole lot of innovation, and people/developers are going to be flocking to Zilliqa's blockchain in order for them to create these amazing apps. And then when that happens, there's obviously going to be adoption. I know there's a lot of people who are very pessimistic out there. A lot of people have been saying that sharding compromises security and immutability. But you gotta understand, you just have to understand that the way Zilliqa has been set up, the way it has been, designed, everything was thought of from the beginning. For example, the DS, which is the Directory Service, right, Committee, it acts as a supervisory shard and it helps in the formation of shards and aggregate transaction validation results from each shard, among others. Zilliqa leverages on the shards for parallel processing of transactions. Each shard and the DS committee run an optimized PBFT for consensus on valid transaction. In PBFT, there is deterministic finality of blocks, unlike the probabilistic finality in Nakamoto's consensus, which is obviously utilized by Bitcoin and Ethereum. Therefore, there is no need for several block confirmation. The latest state of the latest block is the truth of the chain. So there's obviously way too much security, there's way too much validation going on, so everything is uncompromisable, so everything works pretty good. I really want you guys to dive deep into how the different shards work, because this is what really differentiates Zilliqa. So besides looking at the price, right, you need to understand the technology and how different it is from other platforms. When it comes to Zilliqa, there are two types of blockchains in Zilliqa's architecture. These are the DS blockchain and the transaction blockchain. So basically, the DS blockchain stores the identity of the nodes in the network, while the transaction blockchain stores information on the transactions validated by the network. Zilliqa also provides unique transaction models with multiple transaction types. For example, Zilliqa uses an account-based model similar to Ethereum. The network currently supports account-to-account and account-to-contract transactions. Other than that, there are three different types of transactions in the Zilliqa network. There's type 1, type 2, and type 3. So type 1 is for the user account to user account transactions. Type 2 is simple user account to contract transactions. Type 3 is complicated user account to contract accounts. Transactions are allocated to each shard based on the last few bits of the senders and recipients' addresses. You have to note that all type 1 and most type 2 transactions are handled within a shard. Some type 2 transactions and all type 3 transactions that require cross-shard communications are handled by the DS committee. I really hope that you understand why Zilliqa is obviously way much more efficient and secure. So besides that, let's also take a look at the 5 different types of nodes which are found in the Zilliqa architecture. So these 5 types of nodes on the network are obviously the shard nodes that usually handle type 1 and type 2 type of shard transactions. Then there's also the DS nodes, which usually process all type 2 and type 3 transactions. Then we also have the lookup nodes that handle the dispatching of transactions to the correct shard and assist seed nodes in fetching the states and transaction history. They earn 5% of the transaction fees and Coinbase reward. So the seed nodes usually help in forwarding transactions to lookup nodes, which usually assist new validating nodes in joining the network by providing the DS block history and expose transactional APIs to allow Explorer wallets to send transactions and fetch historical transaction data. They share the rewards earned by the lookup nodes. And lastly, the archival storage fetches historical data including transactions and blocks from seed nodes every DS epoch and store them in the level DB. They also provide the historical data for new seed nodes that are joining. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the reasons why I am so overwhelmed and happy about Zilliqa, because this thing is actually providing way too much technology for everybody to handle. Now let's take a look at why, or rather how Visa and Mastercard technology is outdated and why Zilliqa can actually be better. Obviously, just like I earlier alluded to, right, we obviously need much more developers and dApps, because when we create that ecosystem, we are going to be enticing the regular user, right? I'm obviously not really talking about tech heads, because I really consider the people who are watching this video to be are into technology, and you guys are pretty super smart, but we are talking about the rest of the regular world. No offense. So we need to entice these people by providing dApps that are usable. We also need to create an environment that attracts merchants. Okay, we need to let them know that they are missing something which is very, very important. And if they miss the Zilliqa or any blockchain wave, right, they are going to be missing out on business. So it's all about providing value. The value doesn't really come in by the price of Zilliqa going to about 30 cents or even $1. The value comes in by providing solutions that the world would really benefit from. So this is one of the reasons why we need to create this atmosphere, this environment that really entices developers to create super amazing dApps that are really going to end up enticing the regular user, because they are providing solutions which are pretty unique. And we also need to, obviously get to tap into the Asian market, because Asia is a great market, especially when it comes to, decentralized finance, because they have easy adoption. I mean, if you take a look at China, if you take a look at Japan, South Korea, right? These people are super fast, and we really need to penetrate, into this particular market. So obviously, Zilliqa having a very strong base in Asia, Singapore. Moreover, Singapore is a very good hotspot for, blockchain technology, because they are, being given this environment to actually innovate. So Singapore is a very good, safe haven for legal aspects of blockchain. So this is a very good, thing, because Zilliqa is very legit. It is officially registered in Singapore. Moreover, a lot of the team members are actually Singaporean, if I'm not mistaken. So that is super duper cool. So if we can get to penetrate through the Asian market, then obviously the rest of the world are really going to end up joining. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about, with all the reasons that I have given you, especially with regards to how Zilliqa's blockchain architecture gets to work, or rather works. I'm sure you guys understand how flawless it is going to be, and how secure and immutable it is going to be in comparison to these other cryptocurrencies, or rather blockchain platforms that are promising super duper cool transactions, like 30,000 transactions per second, because they lack security. But when it comes to sharding, when it comes to network sharding, and the way Zilliqa has been set up, everything is pretty dope. And you guys have to really research on how the directory service plus the pure Byzantine fault tolerance protocols usually get to work, especially in comparison, or rather with regards to infinite scaling, which is very important. So please let me know in the comment section below, have I convinced you? Do you really think that Visa and Mastercard are really going to be outdated in the long run? Of course, this is obviously going to happen like in the next like 5 to 20 years. All right, so if you end up buying Zilliqa right about now, yeah, hoping that Visa and Mastercard are going to be overtaken they are going to be overtaken tomorrow or even next year, then then I don't really know exactly what type of weed you are smoking. I'm obviously talking about the long run. So this is a long-term type of game. And remember what I told you, be vigilant when it comes to accumulating your Zilliqa, right? Always make sure that you practice dollar cost averaging and just soothen the dumps, because the dumps are going to be coming. They are inevitable, because people are going to be taking profit. So it's been your boy Muna, aka Beyond 10X. You already know what we do. Welcome to the family. Hit the like button. We need about 100 likes on this particular video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on all post notifications and drop everything in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Zilliqa's technology is far superior to Visa and Mastercard? So please drop everything in the comment section below. And I'm also going to be talking to you a little bit later. Bye!